Narcissistic abuse colonizes your present moment. It's very reasonable to assume that what you went through was in the past, because it was, right? Hopefully you're out. But that doesn't mean that your brain agrees with you. In fact, it kind of doesn't. This 2023 New York Times article goes into a lot of detail explaining why. As you can see here, the team conducted brain scans of 28 people with PTSD while they listened to recorded narrations of their own memories. Some of the recorded memories were neutral, some were simply sad, and some were dramatic. Brain scans found clear differences, it says. The article then goes on to say, when the same people listened to their traumatic memories of sexual assaults, fires, school shootings, and terrorist attacks, the hippocampus was not involved. Now, why is that important? Now, from my studies of the brain, it appears that no part of the brain performs just one role. But one role the hippocampus definitely does perform is converting short-term memories into long-term memories. And it's taking things that we're experiencing right now, or just a little while ago, into something that's definitely now encoded into the past. So, in a sense, what it's saying is that when they listened to these recordings of their traumatic memories, it was as though the brain had not encoded them as being in the past. One of the researchers said, the brain doesn't look like it's in a state of memory, it looks like it's in a state of present experience. And then, indeed, the authors conclude in the paper, traumatic memories are not experienced as memories as such, but as fragments of prior events subjugating the present moment. It goes on to say the traumatic memories appeared to engage a different area of the brain, the posterior cingulate cortex, which is usually involved in internally directed thought like introspection or daydreaming. The more severe the person's PTSD symptoms were, the more activity appeared in the PCC. What is striking about this finding is that the PCC is not known as a memory region, but one that is engaged with processing of internal experience, Dr. Schiller said. So what to do about it? So Dr. Harpaz Votem, you are helping the patient to construct a memory that can be organized and consolidated into the hippocampus. So, narcissistic abuse and the trauma colonizes your present moment, and it needs to be re-encoded into the hippocampus and into the past. This explains why CPTSD and PTSD symptoms ruin a person's day. They take over a person's moment to moment, all day. Now, a less sciencey way of saying it might be that if someone is pulled away from their present moment, they're spending a lot of time thinking about the past, and in which case they can get pretty depressed. And suffer a lot of grief. Whereas with the future, people are often drawn and fixated on that because they've got a lot of anxiety. But it isn't to say that you just focus on now and everything just corrects itself in the brain. No, what they're saying is that this needs to be done gently. And one of the ways of doing that, I'm sorry I'm going to say it, is brain spotting. When engaged in brain spotting, you are tracking your internal experience. And that's activating the posterior cingulate cortex. It must be. Because that's where these trauma memories are stored. In brain spotting sessions, when you talk about them, when you bring them up, we don't ask you to relive them. You get to a certain point where you get emotional, and then we'll say, where do you feel that in your body? And then you start to track your interoception, that's your internal experience, and it will start moving around your body and going where it needs to go. What's actually happening is something's going on in your brain, something's moving around in your brain, opening files, reprocessing them, and storing them into the hippocampus and into the past. That's why when it comes to trauma, quite a lot of the times certain therapists or certain types of modality will recommend loads and loads of management techniques. Now, they don't tend to go much further than that. That's all you end up getting. As if management is the only thing you can do. Well, this is suggesting no. That's just managing it. That's all it is. Processing it through, allowing it to contextualize it in the right place, encode into the past, actually will heal it. And then there's nothing left to manage. This is why I'm of the opinion that the only forms of therapy that can heal trauma are somatic ones. Hope this helps. Bye for now. I made the now louder because we've been talking about the present moment. Alright, going now. Bye. I'll get my coat.